Hello everybody, this is Ryan, and I'm going to make a short video to help you get started with Module 8. Module 8 is going to be a module that helps you learn how to use Google Spreadsheets to analyze data. And I have Module 8 up here, so we're going to go down through it, and I'm not going to read it all to you. We're going to get down here to the actual module, and you're going to see several videos in this series. So this will be the first one, and we're going to start on if-then functions. So when you work through this module, you're going to see part 1. So part 1 deals with if-then formulas. And to do this module, we are going to use a data set. So what you're going to do to start off is you're going to click on this data set, and you're going to make a copy. Then you're going to rename it. And I tell you right here how to rename it. Similar to what I have here, I'll use this one. And you're going to use this data set throughout this entire module. And you can just do the same thing, put your name in there and the section you're in the summer and the year. So let's get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin working on this. So you need to share it with me. If you don't know how to share your sheet, you can go here to share, and you'll put my email address in here. And then you're going to want to change this to FHSU. That way your classmates can see your file. So what we're going to do is we're going to do several things here, and throughout this module, this part, I'm going to do some of these with you, but I put the formulas in here because I really want to make this so you can do it and be successful. So I put a lot of formulas in here, and we'll use that stuff. So let's go ahead and talk about, for example, gender. When we look at the file and we go to the demographics tab, we're going to see that we have gender here. We have F and M. Well, we want to add meaning to F and M. So we want to say anytime there's a F, we want to name that female. Anytime it's a male, we want to name it M, we want to name it a male. So we're going to insert a column. And the way I did that is I just right-clicked on the column, and I said insert column left. And then we're going to name it gender 2. Bigger. Say equals F E2 equals an F. Then we're going to call it female. And then we're going to say if it doesn't equal an F, then it's going to be a male. Because there's only 2 values in this column, either F or an M. And notice how it auto fills down for you. That's a good thing. If it doesn't auto fill down, what you can do is you can just pull it down to the bottom of your data set. And push Control D, and it'll fill it down as well. So that's our first one. That's our first example. So that's our first formula. If you notice here, I did it right here for you. Here's a formula that I used, so you can just put that in there. And we'll go through this, and it'll kind of walk you through it. The next piece is the NDs. This is the student with disability column. Right now there's ND and there's WD. So we want to change WD is no, they're not SPED. Then we're going to use actually a nested if-then statement. So there's 2 parts to it. So we're going to say if B2 is ND, then we're going to say a no, which means no disability. Then we're going to say if B2 equals a WD, then we're going to say yes as a disability. But in this column, there could actually be some blank values. So we're going to say if the cell is blank, we're going to just make it a blank. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go back to the top. And that's this column here. So let's insert a column. So to insert a column, you right-click on the column and do insert one left. And we're going to do, we'll call it just SPED. Is that what I called it? Asked you to call it. I'm going to call them student with disabilities. Let's copy that. Let's make it student with disabilities. Then we're going to write our formula. We're going to say equals if this cell equals ND. We're going to say no. If again, so if this cell equals WD, we're going to say we're going to name it a yes. It's anything else that occurs, we're going to call it just a blank. And then notice how it fills down again. So now that column is done. So that's your second one. And if you walk through this, there's several other examples here. I want to kind of point out the last one to you here, down here a ways. We're going to have the if-then formula for chronic absenteeism. So we're going to go to the attendance tab. And the first thing we want to do is we want to calculate attendance rate. And the way you do that is we're just going to divide daily attendance by the membership values. That's going to give you an attendance rate. And then we're going to say, okay, if the attendance rate is less than 90%, we're going to say they're chronically absent. So we're going to make a chronically absent. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say equals if this value is less than 90% or less than 0.9, then yes, they're chronically absent. And if it's not less than 0.9, we're going to say no, they're not chronically absent. It made an error. So what did I do? Oh, it's right there. It should be is less than 0.9. So now it's there. So now you'll see any value that's less than the 0.9 or 90% is going to be a yes. Anything greater than 90% or equal to 90% will be a no. So this is a short tutorial on how to use if-then statements, and that'll walk you through the first part of this lesson. I hope it helps.